All right, so now I want to tell you about a meeting I had. And this meeting was like years ago, probably like 9, maybe even 10 years ago. And I remember this is when I was doing condo conversions. I was actually just getting into them. And I was on my way to doing my first one. And I gathered a money guy, I gathered a construction guy, a banker. Actually, a buddy of mine was doing it, and I remember we're kind of all sitting around around a table, and we're just kind of going over all the details. And back then, I had spent like a tremendous amount of time finding the right building. And you know, condo conversions is when you buy an older apartment building and then you convert it into condominiums, and then you sell condominiums one by one. And it was huge here in Atlanta for a while, for a number of years. It was just a huge rage here. And I remember sitting at this meeting with these guys, and one of my friends, he was kind of not just my friend, he was kind of a friend of all the people at the table. His name was Lewis. He was an older gentleman, and he was about 75 years old. And he's just a super guy, not necessarily a real estate guy, but just a really smart guy to have in your life. And again, his tie was that he brought a couple of us together at that meeting. And I remember in the middle of the meeting, Lewis kind of leans into the table and he says, "Can we lose money on this deal?" So I want you to take a note exactly what he said. He said, "Can we lose money on this deal?" Now you got to understand, back then I was like super fired up about getting into these condo conversions. I mean, these were multi-million-dollar deals. I put the first one together. I kind of sort of brought all the partners on board. I had everybody in agreement. All of a sudden, Lewis, he pipes up, "Can we lose money on this deal?" And I remember looking and thinking, that has got to be the dumbest question I've ever heard in my life. How can we possibly lose? You know, I didn't say this, but in my mind I was thinking, "Lewis, what are you doing here? We're about ready to go to closing here in the next 3 to 4 weeks on this building, and you're throwing this whole rent." And luckily, the other guys kind of thought, I think, what I did, and we just kind of glossed over it, and we moved on. And we ended up closing in the building, buying it. Matter of fact, we did such a bang-up job on construction that one of the papers in Atlanta had a write-up on it, because we blew out the downstairs. We dug 9 feet into the ground to make this unbelievable basement unit. We were featured on a cover of one of the in-town magazines. And and about 9 months later, when we sold our last unit, every single person in that table, every single one of us lost money. Okay, so can we lose money on this deal? The question that almost killed the deal, probably should have killed the deal. Yeah, you better believe it. In this business, you could lose money on any single deal. And you always, at my level, I put fail-safe mechanisms into what I do, and knock on wood, probably the last couple thousand deals I've done, I haven't lost money in any of them. But again, I've got a lot of experience. I'm in a very cookie-cutter model now. We've got a really fairly sophisticated business. Again, we have fail-safe mechanisms. But at any point in time, anybody, including myself, and definitely probably to those of you listening to this, you could lose money. So the one overriding way that I personally found in terms of avoiding that is you got to bring in experts into your deals. It don't matter what deal you're doing, whether it's your first wholesale deal you're doing, whether it's maybe your first apartment building you're trying to take down, maybe it's your first land deal you're doing, maybe a rezoning issue you're running into, maybe a conversion that I did there. Whatever it is, anytime you're venturing into something new in this business, new technique, new strategy, new geography, new dollar amount, the best way that I found personally to insulate yourself, bring a partner on board. Bring somebody that is more savvy, more sophisticated, more experienced in that particular technique, that particular strategy, that particular deal than you are. And make no mistake about it, I don't care what kind of deal or where you're doing it. There's people right in your own marketplace or close to it that are those people. And they'd love to do those deals with you. People come to me all the time with opportunities. Of course, I'm always open to looking at those opportunities. That's like a brand new person who already did all the legwork. They just need me to come in from an expertise perspective, and I'm just kind of overlooking it, and I could take a big chunk all day long. Well, in your market, you got to find, or it doesn't even have to be in your market. It could be outside of your market. But anytime you get into something new, bring a partner on board. So here's what I hear all the time. Well, gosh, Pete, if I bring this kind of a partner for what you're saying, I'm going to give up 50%. Yeah, 50% of something is better than can we lose money on this deal and actually losing money on this deal. Don't forget these words. So it don't matter how much you got to give up. And I do recommend in the beginning giving up as much as 50, sometimes 60% for that expertise partner. Because once you do maybe just a couple deals with that individual, maybe 2, 3, however long for you to get comfortable, you get knowledgeable, you get savvy in that arena, well then you're off and running. But if you're using the first 1 or 2 deals yourself as a way to experiment and then you start losing money, then what you're doing is you're actually going backwards in this business. So remember these words that Lewis said. Can we lose money in this deal? Yeah, you bet. All day long, every day, investors in this business lose money. Insulate yourself by bringing outside experts in that could help you. Pay them whatever it takes, 50, 60, even if they take 70%, I promise you, 30% share of something is better than 100% of a loss that you could absorb. Hey, you guys know what we do here. We do a ton of deals, and I have a one-on-one coaching program where I coach people just like you to help become very, very successful real estate investors. So if you're a buyer or you know other buyers literally all over the world that are looking for deals in the Georgia market, specifically concentrated towards Atlanta, you need to be on our buyers list. By now you'll see my email scrolling across the screen. Send me an email, just say add me to the buyers list. And on a daily basis, you're going to get some terrific both ROI and equity driven deals emailed right directly to you through email. The other thing, if you're looking to become a successful investor, whether you're brand new, just getting started, or whether you're doing it already and you're looking to be a bigger, more sophisticated, more savvy investor, I know I could help you do that. You could either send me an email to learn more about my one-on-one coaching program, or better yet, right below this video, there's a link right directly to coachingbypeter.com. You can go straight there and learn more about how I could help you become very successful in this industry.